I'm going to put it in admin.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to turn it on now. Go live. Do it live. What's up, everybody? It's your boy KJ here with the Crypto Quickie. I got my good friend Stillman Crypto with me. Say hi to the
Hi,
people.
Jake. Hi, everybody.
How you doing? I'm just going to wait till a couple people join the room, and I'm going to share the link, and we'll get started. Yeah, I just did Cointelegraph with Big Cheds. It was a lot of fun. Haven't done anything like that in a while.
That was good.
Interesting. Yeah, I had a good time. It was a lot of fun. It's nice. Kind of brings back some memories, you know. We were talking, so midstream, the the stream died, I guess, and they had a tech guy. But like, remember when me and Kaz used to do like Twitch and stuff? Like, there was always tech issues. These guys have like 1 million followers, a tech guy, and in the middle of the stream it died because
Same thing happens.
yeah, you you can't win. You know, I think there was an internet lapse. Somebody's internet went out and it killed the stream. But I was like, we were reminiscing about the time where I did my first YouTube interview with Mike Kayamori, and the first thing
And you
that happened was
showed your credit card.
yeah, I did. I certainly did. But the first thing that had happened was I was using this Appear In software to do kind of like, I wasn't using Zoom, I guess. I was using this other thing, and it was it wasn't it was a free software, and I'm talking to Mike, and all of a sudden some guy pops in like another screen, and he goes, "Bit Connect," and Mike goes, "Is that one of your friends?" Like, he was confused. He didn't know what was happening. I'm like, "Oh
That definitely
shit."
sounds like a 2017 occurrence.
Yeah. So I kick that guy out, and then another guy joins, and he's like holding a sign, like saying like "When Moon" or something. I was just waiting for a guy to come out with his junk, you know, like a naked guy or something bad to happen, and I'm panicking. And this is the first time I'm doing an interview ever, and it was like, I was big on cash. What's up, everybody? And you know, so I go, shit. I think I have to buy the premium version. Everybody, hold on. We're gonna put the stream on hold. I just gotta buy this. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, I'm sweating bullets, man. I was so nervous, and I'm like, I thought I had paused the stream, but I actually only paused YouTube on my second monitor. So here I am entering my address, my phone number, my credit card info, and my phone's ringing. You know, I think it was Eric, one of the guys, were calling me like, "You're giving out all your info," and I come back to the screen, and like the chat is going crazy. I had to stop the stream and cancel my bank card, but good memories. Good memories indeed. It was a hell of a time, man. Yeah. So anyway, what's up? Big Ike in the house, man. The goat is back. Guys, crushing it, man. Isaac, it's killer right there. Saint Jean, how you doing? User 111, and he's back. I told you I'd be back. Johnny C in the house. What's going on? Got some people in here. I guess we're ready to get started.
Yeah, let me. Did you tweet
I
the stream?
did.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe I'm shadow banned, or
No,
I
you
just
did. I got it. I'm retweeting it.
I can't buy a like unless I'm like tweeting something about like Donald Trump. Then at least someone's gonna like it one way or the next, either, you know, left or right. That's the only thing that gets likes. But or when I tweeted that we'll never be over 10K again, that got likes, which was an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Lest anybody think I was serious, I was not. But
I mean, yeah. Hodl Note gets likes. You get likes with that one.
yeah. So this guy's
That
showing.
guy actually tweeted that, I think, about 10 times now. Pretty
Who
crazy.
did?
Hodl Note, you know.
Hodl
So,
Nut? Oh
yeah.
yeah. I saw they put him on a chart. It's pretty
Yeah.
crazy. If you put that guy and Arthur on the chart at the same time, like, that's like, you know,
It's not bad. Although he obviously does it for engagement, but
yeah.
still,
The
there is
timing,
a
the
bit
the,
of
the, the
bit of
time that he
sentiment.
chooses to do it is significant always.
Yeah.
You know, that is a significant thing. This was from earlier. All right. So what I kind of wanted to do is I already talked about BTC, um, and Stillman was a guy that like early May we were watching, and he charts like dominance, all sorts of different ways, total market cap to kind of get like signs of different moves within the trends. And there was a day in early May, which I recall, where he dropped like 10 different charts all at once in altcoin trading channel, and was like, "Yeah, I think these are all good. Like, I think these are worth a shot. They all look pretty good. They're all painting the same kind of structure setup." And I was like, "Geez, like that had happened before earlier in the year." I actually tweeted it too. I'm like, "When Stillman drops a bunch of charts at once, pay attention." And like, if you look at the date on that happened versus like alt cap and those specific charts, like the timing was incredible. So I kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about how you came to those conclusions and what type of stuff you're looking at without giving them too much of the secret sauce. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, of course. Well, that day, like I hadn't, been buying alts for quite a while. And that day, a couple of things came together. BTC dominance. Wait, I can send you the chart over real quick
good
so
idea.
you can share that. So this one, BTC dominance was hitting resistance right there, and I was still thinking, although BTC dominance had entered like an intermediary uptrend with like higher highs, higher lows, I was still thinking this could still be a like corrective move with further downside, and at least it would like go down again in that upwards channel. So that was one thing, and I added a couple of notes on the chart. We also had a lot of bullish divergences on the on the altcoins, and they all look very very similar. And what I did in end of January, early February was look at very very high time frame bullish divergences, because we were at a different place in the cycle, and we actually had a lot of similarities there too. And this time I was looking lower time frame, because we had that very very nice mini alt season in February. Then we had the big drop in March, so that was all happening very very quickly. So the any divergences wouldn't have that much time to form. And so I think I went on to the 8 hour, something like that, 8 hours and 4 hours, but still looked at like the time frame of at least like a week or two for those divergences to show themselves. And yeah, that was basically happening. And when it happens on a lot of assets at once, it's not a coincidence, basically.
Yeah. So looking at this chart, um, this it's interesting how you have the Adam and Eve bottom back in 2018. So you have the low, a fake pump, and then a higher low. Then you get the breakout, and then on the top you have an Adam and Eve top, the high,
Yeah.
dump, a lower high, and then it dumps again. So now, also looking at the part that says this is a 3% gap, to the people that are watching that may not understand what that means, can you elaborate on what you mean by gaps? Because I've seen you make other tweets
Yeah.
that say like gaps everywhere. You know the meme.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
what do you mean when you say you're looking for a gap,
Yeah,
and how
that's
can they
that,
use
that
that?
that note is from earlier in the year. That was basically you see how on top of that gray box in like January, it's hovering above that and then finally breaks down.
Mm-hmm.
And my thesis back then was that it would at least fill that gap, because there's an inefficiency in how the dominance moved up there. At the beginning of the box on the left, you can see that that was just like two straight up candles. And although this is dominance, like usually you do this with price, that you see inefficiencies, and they are kind of like the gaps from the CME chart, basically. And inefficiencies like to be filled, and I was thinking the same thing about that, and that happened, and it even went lower, and then on the way down at some point I looked like where could this bounce, and then I added that green box, and that played out pretty nicely.
Yep, hit right into that box.
Yeah.
That's the
Um,
that's the area. Below that, like anything above that is like kind of like play. Below that is alt season, in my opinion.
yeah.
You go
Yeah.
below that, like it's gonna get crazy. You know, some of these coins that have been in accumulation for a year, 2 years, just like downtrends, some of those are gonna break out and they're gonna do some big things, I think.
Yeah, I
So
would actually say that if you look at the chart now, you could draw like a trend line here, or like a wedge or a bear flag on that dominance. And I think if that breaks, and we are very close to it, we're touching the bottom of that line right now, so we could see a bounce here. Or if that breaks, then that could also lead to at least another retest of the green box, and that's a lot of percentages. Um, you see how the box is like 3% in of itself, just 3%. But translate that to a market cap gain in altcoins, that's a lot,
right,
like
but
a lot of money moving. That was something that we had realized also when we played that in February, that the alts had legs to do like 100%, 150% here and there, and
mhm.
they did. Like Dash gained massively back then. We caught that, and a couple of others, and even like old dead coins. Like another thing that
Yeah.
was really helpful was that in February, a lot of coins were at historical support, like levels that went back 2 to 3 years. Stuff like Sia coin, for example. Sia coin,
Oh yeah, Sia coin was a
when
good
that
one.
when that
Yep.
sits at the historical
Oh,
bottom, and you got like divergence forming for 3, 4, or 6 months, then you gotta play that. Manage your risk a bit, but that's a very, very high probability play.
yeah. See, like I just pulled up the daily. We're talking about February. That's this. But like when you look at the full chart, like look at it. There's nothing. Like people don't know what alt season is. You know. Like there's
Yeah, and
nothing
it's
wrong
it's
with playing this. When you zoom in, this looks great. You know, this is a
yeah.
nice play here. But
The thing, yeah,
if
if
these
people don't know
are
what
if these are
altcoin
able
is,
to break out and break above necklines like here, forget about it. It's gonna be wild, like absolutely wild. So
yeah,
let me
yeah.
ask you when you're thinking about like the potential of that box being breached again or hit around 61, 62, what do you think the chances? I mean, do you think it comes from high cap or low cap or mid? Like, like could it
I
could it
think,
just be like F pushing the whole dominance down?
yeah, yeah. I think to really break the dominance, we need ETH. Um,
Right?
you could also have like stuff like
Cardano.
XTZ, Atom, these like newer quote unquote Ethereum killers, gain a lot of market cap. That would be a different, like a second probability. But I think if that happens, it won't happen without Ethereum gaining as well. So that will only happen in a proper alt season.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think Ethereum is key.
Yeah. So we've been talking about it a lot. I covered it briefly on a previous stream, but and even on Cointelegraph kind of brought it up a bit as far as like how Ethereum 2.0 is actually finally starting to make some progress and showing some promise. Yet I don't see people talking about it that much yet. Um,
True.
I mean, why do you think this is something people should pay attention to?
Um, Basically, all the promises from 2017 are starting to come true now. All these developments start to come to fruition, and I mean, you even have stuff that people deem dead, like OMG, coming out, launching mainnet, solving
Yeah.
Plasma, and that's just one layer two scaling solution for Ethereum that seems to be working now. Then you got the ZK Starks, which just proved themselves very, very recently from Starkware. They've been working on that for a long time too. I think since 2018, and those are like a version for Ethereum of for zero knowledge proofs. So it's a privacy solution and a scaling solution at the same time. And they did a simulation where they onboarded like they didn't onboard them in reality, but they simulated onboarding the whole Fortnite Reddit to Ethereum, and that took less than a day, I think, and that's like 1.3 million accounts.
Wow.
And I think on Diversify, which is the former Ffinex, the former Bitfinex decentralized exchange, Diversify runs on Starkware Tech now, and they managed to get 9,000 transactions per second on that decentralized exchange. And Ethereum does layer one Ethereum pre F2.0 did 15, I think. So that's a giant leap forward. And you already have like a pretty big ecosystem in the whole decentralized finance space that's growing on Ethereum. I think we have almost $1 billion locked in decentralized finance protocols at the moment. Be that lending, derivatives on Ethereum, like Synthetics, who recently launched synthetic gold derivative on Ethereum. You have the wrap BTC on there, which I think crossed $50 million worth so far, which is not like that much in terms of BTC market cap, but it's growing, and it makes a lot of sense because it gives your Bitcoin like access to a whole new ecosystem that's not there on Ethereum, on Bitcoin layer 2 solutions yet.
So people, maybe I missed this. I know we were talking about it before, but can people actually stake Ethereum now and get that, what was it, like 10% or something?
Like the Ethereum 2.0 staking isn't up.
When
But
does that go live?
but we don't. No, it's not up. We don't have a date yet for like the upgrade basically. Vitalik said that it's close and soon. It will happen this year. I mean, we learned to not trust all these announcements, especially with Ethereum. They like to have delays. They're a very, very giant developer community. But you can already do a lot of stuff with the Ethereum in those decentralized finance applications, like lending it. You can gain interest on it. And that all that obviously comes with risk, like the decentralized finance protocols, they get attacked, they can get hacked. So I would never like go all in on something like that, but you can do interesting things like on decentralized exchanges, like on Uniswap. You talked about that on the stream. You can become a liquidity provider. So you put for whatever pairing, like let's say you have like KNC and Ethereum on there. You can put half KNC and half Ethereum in there, and you are part of the liquidity pool that the traders draw from, and you get a share of the transaction fees. So
cool,
that's
man.
also something like
really
you can
cool.
do very, very interesting stuff with that. Like the pairings will have like different yields basically at certain points in time, so you can spot the ones that would make you a lot of money. If you do a play on that, like on Uniswap, and you are early on a coin, you could put some of that back into the liquidity pool. So when the herd comes and tries to buy everything and makes your coin go 30x, you also make money off of their transaction fees, like stuff like that. It's very interesting.
It's fascinating stuff, man. Like at the end of the day, like my main thing is like, is staking
Chris
season
just alerted
back?
me to the fact that your volume is way lower than mine.
Oh,
I can
mine's low.
move
I'm
the
low. They
mic
can't
a
hear
bit.
me. Am I too loud? Or you're too loud and I'm too low?
I'm
Maybe
too
it's
loud.
because my volume is high on my computer, perhaps. You like
I'm
through my speakers, you sound fine. But
yeah, I'm going to move the mic away a little bit.
no, I just turned my volume down a bit. But like with staking, like some of the best plays that I've made in crypto were staking based plays where I got into something kind of early during an accumulation period, and then throughout that accumulation period, rather than like kind of worrying about the little 10% fluctuation, 20%, I just kept staking away until my bag kept getting bigger and bigger, and then when it started to pump, that's when I start to sell, obviously. But it's definitely something that works. But is the concept of, do you think there will ever be like, will it ever make sense to stake something like Ethereum and be like, yeah, I'm just going to stake this indefinitely? Like, obviously, with the price of Ethereum, you need to pay attention, but like, do
Yeah,
you
I
do you
think
foresee a future where instead of like people holding on to a stock, they just stake Ethereum or some other token?
I don't believe in that at all for like on a high time frame, like
Right.
for in the future and indefinitely.
Neither do I.
Not at all, but if you time it right, if you like have a more drawn out market cycle with the price appreciation, then it definitely makes sense to use that um, if you are speculating in an asset that has that feature, because otherwise you're also getting left behind with the dilution. So you need to keep up with the emission. If you hold it, if you don't stake it, you're already on the losing side. So
Right, but to stake, yeah. So to stake, I mean, in essence, the way these proof of stake coins are going is like, for it to be successful, you need people staking, correct? Like,
you need um,
what happens if people all sell and they stop staking?
I mean, if they all like, if nobody
Well,
like
not
for
everybody would sell, and
if,
obviously the
if it's
founders would
really a
have
proof of
some, and
stake, yeah, if it's really a proof of stake network, then obviously you have the same issue as if on a proof of work networks, most of the miners shut down. It becomes easily attackable. Won't
right.
be a successful network anymore.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I definitely think that this has not lost appeal, especially to new people, like people who've been around in 2017 and in the meantime
Yeah.
understand. Like most of them understand by now that there's no such thing as passive income through staking in crypto.
Hmm.
That was a big trap, and I think the same will be true with decentralized finance protocols. That when the market cycle like turns around, you just got get the hell out. Like you can't, stake against that or
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
be a
100%.
liquidity provider in a crumbling
We
market.
we
And
learned that with our VeChain nodes.
oh yeah,
You know what? I might as
that
well pull up Vet because I
was
talked
checked out.
about it last stream, and you did too. We've been watching this one. I haven't looked at it today, actually. Let me see.
Which one?
VeChain.
VeChain, yeah.
Ooh, that's kind of nasty looking. It's not great. I don't love
hmm
that.
BTC pairing or
Yeah,
USD? Yeah, BTC pairing. Yeah.
yeah. This isn't a great daily follow. Um, hmm.
I'm waiting for the stream to catch up so I can see it on your screen.
Yeah, probably 65 again. Might end up there. Shockwave down there. I like that it broke above this neckline here. Um, I still think we get to 90 to 100 minimally, but yeah, we may retest this. So I would say about 64, 65 sats looks like a spot where it can continue downward too, and you would want to see it bounce off that.
Mm.
Below 50 obviously is horrible. Don't want that.
The weekly looks real nice.
Yeah.
I like that I had like a green box there from 59 to 64 for quite a while. And when it was down and tried the first move up, it actually stopped there, and now it's trying to flip that. I like it.
Yeah, we still got a lot of time left in this weekly, and I mean, as of right now, that still looks good to me too. I agree.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about the current weekly candle. Like we can't really say how
Oh,
that will close,
yeah.
but the two previous ones look pretty nice.
Oh
Like you
yeah.
have a very very like hard stop in those consecutive candles before it breaks out.
Mm-hmm.
I like to see that,
Yep.
and like this kind of double bottom.
Yep. Yeah, with the wick low, then fake out above, retest it, then takes off. Really good. Plus, I saw that they were something with Walmart, right? They said Tyson's Chicken was using VeChain or something. That-
Yeah,
Somebody shared that.
a Chinese subsidiary of
Oh,
Walmart.
so not Walmart.
I'm not familiar with the something's club. I'm not familiar with
Oh,
the
Sam's
brand.
Club. Yeah, that's right. Not
Oh
Walmart. Sam's Club. Sam's Club's pretty legit. They have that over here.
yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like a cheaper Costco kind of thing.
Ah, okay. Then we don't have that in Germany.
Yeah, no, Sam's Club's legit. Like they're real. I meant to say Sam's Club, not Walmart. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's a real place. We have those. One of the guys in the room, H Bone 373 Stillman. What do you think of Kava launching their DeFi platform, all based on Atom, backed by BNB and OKCoin?
That's an interesting one, but I haven't looked into it super deeply yet.
Let's pull the
Um,
chart. Oh, this is old.
didn't Kava also do something wild on Uniswap? I'm not. I think so.
This looks. I mean, the weekly looks crazy bullish. Holy shit,
Yeah.
pretty bullish. Look at it's done a 2x. This was listed. Pump. Jeez, this is interesting. Let me look at the daily.
It is.
Uh, yeah, so I'd say if it goes over like this 12.5 area here, like if it keeps going through, like pretty much, I don't know. Like I would keep a close eye on this one.
Yeah.
It looks pretty bullish. Like, I don't know what it does or any of that, but I mean, this is. It
I mean,
can dump. It can dump mad hard
summarized
too,
it.
but
H-Bone summarized it nicely.
yeah.
What's the market cap on Kava? Already almost 40 million. I mean, that's we always need to see what this is supposed to do and like how the backing of it is. Like 40 million can deter you from playing. But we've seen in 2017 that, I mean, when did we enter VeChain? It was already above
We entered at like 100, 150 million.
100 million, right? And it's
100.
still, and I still did a 40x on that.
It
So
was around the 100. Yeah.
yeah, so
EOS, Ripple. I mean, all these were big caps even at the time.
yeah,
They still perform, but 36 million market cap.
it's kind of high, but still, like I would not a reason not to look at it more
Yeah, it
closely.
doesn't mean you can't make like a 20, 30% trade on it, like quite
Yeah,
easily. Like if this shockwave continues to break out, yeah,
the chart looks nice.
yeah, it's pretty violent looking there.
Something
Just
something that I wanted to bring up was in terms of like old coins breaking out, something that had me in awe quite a
I think we
lot.
need to write down all these suggestions. See, the people
Was
in the crowd know. This
Yeah,
is
I
why.
have
This is
Kava
also
on
why
my
I feel
on
like
my
it's
list. Like,
2017, because people are asking for like coins that people are like literally like researching and talking about. It's very important that we pay attention to what the people in the chat are saying and
yes,
then follow up
definitely.
on it. Because that's what I used to do back in 17 too. Like I didn't just randomly find everything. People would ask, and I'd look into it. These guys, if they're watching us right now on YouTube at 4 in the afternoon, they probably know a thing or two. So, I'm paying attention now, for sure.
Here I'm
I'm taking
dropping
all
the
of this seriously at
I'm
this
dropping
point.
the origin chart, trade chart for
Oh,
you.
okay. Yeah, send me that one. That was a crazy call. Did you do that one public, like, or was that a dojo only?
That was just in Doja. I think
uh, you did the
maybe I
flex
mentioned
after
it.
at 4x.
I did mention it on Twitter like early in the year, I think.
Yeah.
But when it did the breakout, I only said that in Dojo. Yeah, but that's like that actually exceeded my expectations like
Yeah.
by a lot. It actually broke through that very, very thick high time frame resistance and it's testing that from above now, which is crazy. Like this looks like it's actually starting a new cycle. Doesn't
Yeah.
look like a breakout pump to me anymore. We'll see. But definitely like I was thinking it would stop between like that green line that I put there and 500 sats. And it didn't. Crazy
No
thing. I mean,
liquidity, probably, too,
that's the
right?
thing. We had some success with looking at older projects that were totally dropped in value so much that were still working and going strong. And Origin Trail always fell into that category for me. Similar thing to DAG back when Zabi and I talked about that a lot in winter of 2018. It had dropped so much, and it was completely not in line with what they were doing and what they were up to at the time. So
It was
Origin Trace
mispriced.
is still the case.
Definitely mispriced.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at RSR. RSR. RSR
Pulled back a little today, but
BTC.
it's good in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked, I think, what did I say? I had a chart. I had a
Henry
chart for
says RSR is the last
the
coin that's got
last one. It's the only one, huh?
the last coin. So
The last of the shit coins. Yeah, it's the last one. Like literally, like it'll be the last one. Everything else will move before this stupid coin. It takes
yeah,
forever.
that's the feeling that RSR gave up in that giant accumulation zone.
I could have sworn I said something about RSI. Oh well. Anyway,
But it looks good.
but
It
I
looks
think
good.
36. Yeah, 30. This was. Wait, it's back there. It pulled back a bit, but this looks pretty good. I like that.
Yeah, we've actually been playing RSR in the dojo too. Like obviously in the past, but also recently bought back at like between 30 and 32.
Yeah,
I think
back
most.
over like 41 and
Yeah, I would
change
say that
is
heavily.
pretty good. Right now it's putting a nice trend together on the daily and just you know being that it's on Huobi, it's not crazy liquidity. Like you don't need to market buy it. You just want to catch closer to the bottom at the end of the daily trading. Try to get in on a wick or something. But you know, it's, looks pretty good. It has all the characteristics of something that can pump. Market cap isn't too big. I like it. But then
Yeah,
again,
USD
freaking thing
pairing
takes
looks good
forever.
too.
This guy's asking about Zill. Zill. When will it
Still
stop?
had also the big run. Yeah, I missed that one.
Yeah. Yeah, Crypto Guy UK was right about this one. He was right. This thing is ripping. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so now it's kind of similar. I mean, it's testing the neckline from the top. So, kind of like if this is support now, this is bullish. Like, this is like very bullish. It could 2x again. Literally. If this is support. Like, basically, you want it to stay above 150. So when I usually say a level like that, it usually goes right to the level, and then that's where your best RR is. So like if you can enter around like 150 ish, you don't need it to the sat, but you can play that with like a relatively tight stop loss, and most likely if that hits and it's the right move, like you're gonna be right like immediately, like it'll hit and bounce and then just take off, and then you're kind of like okay, now I know where I'm at, and then you don't want it to go below that level. Um, you don't want it going down to 150 and dicking around for a while, and then kind of slowly dumping off. Then that would be a bad sign. But 150ish looks like an area that kind of wanted to hold. 145, 150, something like that. What do you think, Stillman?
Yeah, I agree.
Makes sense,
That's
right?
possible. Yeah.
The volume looks very nice. It broke cleanly out of this range. It didn't do it in one candle. You have a structure here. It's just constantly, if you zoom in a little closer, every time it pumps up like this, a bunch of people sell, it dumps, they sell the bottom, then it starts to go up again. It's just like basically.
Yeah, the last leg has been pretty parabolic for that one.
You're just making a bunch of bull flags again, just over and over. Here's another.
That's true.
Yeah, and as long as these keep resolving bullish, this isn't proven yet, but as long as you don't start dumping through structures, like you can go through one, but like if you were to go below, like this is kind of like this area here is really the area that needs to hold, in my opinion, the top of this one. So like it can re-enter this flag. That's why I was saying like 150, 140, like maybe here, really, like in a bad scenario, like kind of this is where it goes, but you don't really want it going below this. So, it can enter here, do this, go back, do that, like shit like that. But you know, at the end of the day, it looks pretty good. And one thing that I've been kind of talking about is like we were playing a lot of BTC on margin, but at the end of the day, there's like a lot of alts that look good. There's a lot of stocks that look good. These are easier trades to make, less stressful. I'm not watching like for instance, vet. Like I was like I didn't even look at it today because like and that's really kind of like more enjoyable for me. I don't want to be like stressed out like constantly looking at a chart. So you know, right now I think it's like swing trade season to be honest. Like fuck scalping, kind of dumb. It's too much work. Too much work. The weather's starting to get it nice. We're starting to be able to go outside again. Like, I'm not trying to be scalping all day. I just make, some try to enter in spots that make sense and, ride the wave and set the risk management. Set the risk reward for it. A couple ones I gave yesterday where I'm like, this isn't going to happen overnight, but you can enter this and just kind of chill. You have your stop set. It's in a spot where if it goes there, we're definitely wrong about what this has been doing. And, not going to get shaken out by like little minor fluctuations on certain plays.
Minor fluctuations.
Yeah.
Makes me think about BTC minus.
BTC what?
BTC minus.
Oh yeah. Yeah, tell me about that because I didn't get I mean the Arthur dump was a miner that did that from what I understand.
It's like one of the pools that is not known. But then I saw like a different source of information that claimed that we do know what pool that is, and apparently they have been moving coins. Like they had an outflow of coins prior to like 3 of the past the recent major dumps. So they might be selling a lot. But overall, today, like Cole Garner shared a nice Glassnode chart where you could see how the miner outflow is like at the previous tops, the miner outflow was always very high and currently it's not. So I'd say that the whole miner capitulation thing post halving, a lot of that has already played out. And the amount of BTC that Grayscale alone is absorbing is kind of off the charts. Obviously on the charts, but it's a lot. Yeah. They are basically absorbing the whole emission at the moment, which is pretty crazy.
Sucking it all up. Yeah, so I mean, it's very close. This level, let's see. So if you look at this line here, I didn't even draw this. I think this is VPV.
Let me just get to one question here. If you had a tool like Octave P asks, if you had a tool that alerts you when someone is moving his tokens to the exchange, let's say an amount that might influence the price, would that be helpful if you're trading low to mid outcomes? I mean, I mostly trade like the chart, but I do use I have like a bot on Twitter that I follow that alerts me to like large Binance deposits, and those are obviously like the mid caps. So yeah, I'm paying attention to that.
Yeah. So FBTC.
Sometimes it's useful, but then again, you can also be game doing that. Somebody could be moving coins to cause panic, stuff like that. So it's I would take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, but it's definitely significant. I think it is, especially on lower cap.
Yeah.
And people do have that. There are a few people I follow that do those type of notifications. But that was something we were always talking about, like using and I remember when Chainlink, when the founders were moving tokens and sending them to the exchange, and then they dumped like right away. It was pretty obvious,
Yeah.
But
same with Ambrosis did that too.
Yeah, a couple of them. I mean, this is not the first time that's happened, but
no.
Yeah, you use anything that you feel can give you an edge on other people, right? So, yeah, I think it's useful personally.
Yeah,
the same way Colt, we call a short, and then it's like it starts to go a direction, and then the next thing you know, you see Bitcoin Satoshi moved the thing. It's like, okay, Satoshi may have moved his coins. Like, even though if I don't, it's bullshit, it's still like, if you're ahead of that, it puts you in a good position.
Yeah, definitely. Like I remember when Kati shared it immediately in Dojo, and he said, okay, if anybody's not short at the moment, go short now. And you actually had a couple of minutes until the panic spread. And it didn't even matter if it's like the case or not. The news shock is enough to move price. And,
Yep.
when something like that happens.
And then that triggers stops and liquidations, and sometimes you get a bigger move than people expect. Also, where it was positionally, it was making a super tight shock wave. Like, it was like maybe in like a $70 range for like the whole day. So, everybody's getting sucked into that. And, whichever way it breaks, you don't want to be on the wrong side of it or fade. So then when that news comes out, it just further confirms my own bias. Like, okay, that's why. Somebody got the news before I did, started to dump the wave, then they released the news. And then the plebs panic. So FBTC, this line here is like pretty significant. You have like so much price action on this. So all the way back to 18, this was the bottom there of that dump. I mean, we can even go further back, but like, look where it is. So this is the bottom. This is the bottom of like the 17 alt BTC dominance moon. So December 3rd. This is like basically BTC is going crazy and killing every alt, and that's the bottom of it, which is December 3rd. So we pump off this. Then you make a top. You dump. This is a nasty looking crash cycle here. You get a lower high bounce and then a real nasty dump right back pretty much to the level. So this is like, in essence, in the dojo we call this kind of like the horseshoe play, but it came all the way back.
Giant horseshoe play.
That's like one of the nastiest ones I've ever seen when you think about it. And then it even takes it out again, like takes out this low, goes back to it again, it holds, does another one here and another. When it does this one, it makes a little mini shockwave here. These you want to pay attention to these guys because they do matter. Below, that's kind of your signal that this is going to continue and start to like really kind of, it's not going to just bounce right off it again for like the nth time. And then you get kind of the bottom there, 0.16, right? 0.16, you get another kind of horseshoe play there. Makes a higher low. So in essence, you could say that this is kind of like your Adam and Eve. What do you think, Stillman? Like a little, maybe?
I need to wait for the stream to catch up. But yeah, I mean, in general, the fact that it pokes its head above that very, very important resistance level for the third time now, that's pretty significant, in my opinion.
Yeah. So now it's kind of
basically like the supply there also gets kind of drained.
Yeah. So we've now made 3 consecutive waves above it, but lower.
Oh, now I see where you were with the Adam and Eve. Yeah, and now you have basically I mean, it's oscillating pretty wide, but you have this shockwave forming above the former, like above this Adam and Eve structure that you had before. I think this looks pretty good. This doesn't look like something that wants to continue downwards.
Yeah, well, like I said on the stream today, I don't know about these. These can go either way. Whichever way it goes, that's probably the direction. So like it doesn't hurt to be like risk off here and wait to see what happens here.
Yeah, I could at least see it like oscillate once more.
Yeah, it could.
Compressing nicely, could compress once more.
Yeah, because it's doing the same. Yeah, it's just it can go either way. But the fact that we're starting to gain more acceptance above is a good thing. And when you line up that plus the fundamentals and technicals that we discussed earlier on the stream, I think eventually it will end up kind of getting some space between this level and breaking out of this. This guy BMX, welcome to the stream. I guess it's your first time watching. He said, "Are you the guy from Cointelegraph stream today with the glasses?" I said, "Oh, let me put my glasses on, so you can recognize me." And he's asking, Stillman, does Stillman Crypto have a channel?
No, no, I don't.
No,
I don't stream.
no. Two
But I do
years
like
now, and
occasional
YouTube
streams
never
from the
showed up.
show,
Annoying.
but
I don't know what he means by that. You've been looking for Stillman for 2 years? Me too. Waiting for him to show up. Yeah, no, we do some stuff together. He's on Twitter, so like I said, Stillman, I stand by this, and the timestamps and the records speak for themselves. But like, he's become one of the top alt guys, if not the best in the game. I firmly believe that. Like his
DJ,
alts,
I mean, I like a couple of other guys.
like he doesn't just do alts, by the way, but like when it comes to alts, he's been pretty fucking good. Like from just pure technical analysis. Definitely give him a follow.
Had a good year so far.
Yeah, outstanding stuff, and that's why I figured we jump on this. I wanted to kind of elaborate, and in the last YouTube I did was talking about how I think it is a good time for new people to get involved with crypto, and not meaning like buy the second, but like start to get involved because there's a lot of things pointing us into a direction that is going to make for a good environment for people to kind of trade these random internet magic fake money things. This guy's
Yeah, actually,
Joe
like,
Rogan.
in terms of that,
Joe Rogan, because he was talking about Brave browser.
yeah, with Reggie from the Roots.
Oh, BMX says I'm shadow banned. Well, no, for a while it's amazing. He's in two years. No, you're good. 2 years of crypto, never heard of me. Well, for the people that have been around for more than 2 years, like in 2017, when it comes to like YouTube, like I wasn't tone based, but like the people that were really trading altcoins, everybody knew who the hell I was. Like I was that guy. And when the market kind of crashed, when it did crash, like I literally like just stopped doing YouTube. I didn't want to do YouTube because I was just an altcoin guy. I was just talking about like mid to low cap altcoins, and everything was bearish. And ICOs, nobody was going to do an ICO. If anybody did an ICO, they were going to lose money. So, I don't talk about this often, but I had a deal with these guys to do like I was supposed to interview I did a few paid ICO videos where I interviewed the founders, and they were always disclosed. I would always say, this is a sponsorship. And if you watch like the videos where I'm doing on my own versus those, you could tell that it's a different flavor. I'm getting paid, and I'm just like letting people know, hey, I'm just asking this guy questions here. But I had this deal. I was supposed to do like 4 videos with them, and the market crashed, and like they were like, oh, we got to do this video, and I just kept curving them. Like I ghosted them. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I can't do it now because I don't want people to get wrecked more, and I just stopped doing YouTube, really. For a very long time, but now I'm looking at what I'm seeing, and I feel like it is a good time to do YouTube, and it's a good time for people that are newer to not fall into traps that noobs fall into and listen to somebody that's lived through it, as opposed to people that are just going to give you clickbaity type shit and give you nonsense TA and tell you Bitcoin's going to 100,000 just to get you excited and to click and to watch. So obviously I'm not going to be the most popular channel, but my goal is that the people that do watch get some value out of it and able to do better and not get wrecked and actually make money. That is the goal. So
yeah, and the whole content has definitely evolved.
Yeah, it's I'm not telling you, hey, we're gonna pump this, we're gonna like it is what it is. There's I'm not gonna always be right either. There's some expectation, especially on Twitter, that there is some trader running around who's won every trade he's ever taken. It doesn't exist. You're gonna lose.
Yeah, you talked about that on the Cointelegraph show.
You're gonna lose.
Risk management keeps you in the game and allows
as long
you
as
to make
you
mistakes.
have as long as you have a plan and you're testing it and you're seeing, okay, this is working. When I do this works out 3 out of 6 times or 3 out of 5 times. This is working. Okay, so like why go all in on it? it could be the fourth out of the fifth that didn't work, right? And then you lose everything. But if you just keep repeating that process and you can do the math and figure out what you need to risk so that you can continue to do this, like, it's pretty simple. And if it were that simple, everybody would be making money. But the problem is you have the emotional component and egos that will make you make a bad decision. And I've made bad decisions in my life, you know, and trading as well. And all of those decisions had something to do with me getting emotional, right? So
Yeah.
the more you're able to remove the emotions from the trade, the better you usually do. Because like you have a plan, you know, you weren't emotional when you made the plan, but when the price started moving, all of a sudden you got excited, and then you did something, you pressed a button that you weren't supposed to press, you know? Sometimes people are just pressing buttons. And, you know, that's like revenge trading, and behavior like that will like kill your account before you know it.
Yeah.
Like you're wrecked. So
Same with stop losses on the downside. Like you need to trust the person that set that stop loss. And when you're in that trade and price goes down, like don't chicken out and close beforehand. That's something that I'm struggling with sometimes.
Yep.
And what that does is it's like the gateway to getting chopped up like crazy, because then you will see that price didn't go to your stop loss, then you FOMO back in. Like really, like that's the best advice. Trust the person that made the plan and not the person that is exposed to that price action at the moment.
Yep. Yes. H-Bone says, was it launching? No. Any of those coins that I was like tweeting about on Twitter or even making videos about, those I never got a cent. I was naive. I didn't even understand the concept of like being paid to shill a coin. I didn't get that. In my mind, I was like, I'm just going to buy like 5 Bitcoin worth of this and then I'm going to shill it. You know, like that, truth be told, like that, I was like, and people were like, he's getting paid to shill these. He's not taking the trade. I'm like, are you fucking crazy? Like, no. Like, I think this is bullish. I'm going to buy it and I'm going to convince you it's bullish. That was what it was. And, you know, that's KJ being very honest about what 2017 was. And we're going to see that again. We're already seeing it. That's mainly what the market is. But, you know, I don't do that no more. Like, anything that I look at, like, you can ask me a chart. I'll tell you my honest opinion of what it looks like. Back then, I didn't even really know too much about charting at all. You know, I was more a fundamental guy. And there was a skill in that because, and I think it still exists. We're starting to see it come out again, where the quote unquote gem hunters do pose value. There is a value in that, meaning you want to look for the coins that you're looking at what the market is buying right now. You're looking at what people are getting excited about, and you're finding the projects that people don't know about yet and that they're mispriced. For instance, like DAG. When I was in on DAG, but you never saw me tweet about it, right? We were in that one before anybody was tweeting about it. All these guys tweeting that they call DAG, they got it from us. Period. You know, that's a fact. And you know, the whole point of doing that is you're looking for what the market is going to want. So when I the first video I ever did was Walton Chain Coin, Neo had just pumped, IOTA had pumped. They were talking about Walton as what was it, RFID, and comparing it to IOTA perhaps, and also low at that point. You know what the trend was? People were looking at token supply. The actual amount of physical tokens that were in supply and looking for low supplies, thinking that the only way you can make money is if you have like a low supply and the token goes to like $200. They didn't realize that you could buy a 1 penny token and it can go to $1. You know, we were just thinking about like people were crazy, you know, like we didn't know anything, but that was the trend. So WTC had a very low supply. It had been listed on Binance. Coins on Binance were doing really, really well. And, you know, nobody was talking about it.
The masternodes in the pipeline.
Yep, masternodes. But my thing was, I went to YouTube it and I saw that nobody had done a video on it. I searched the cash tag on Twitter. Nobody was talking about it. Maybe like 1 or 2 guys. I don't even remember who they were. And I was like, all right, this is it. Like nobody knows. I'm going to tell them about it. So I made the video and like I started tweeting about it. Some people retweeted it and were looking at it. And I guess they had also seen that it had just listed on Binance. They did the same thing I wanted to do, and my video was the only one that was there. And then, you know, before you know it, the coin's pumping like 250%. So, You know, that's going to
Actually,
happen. I think that's going to happen again. Like, I think it is
actually,
happening right now.
that was my first 6x in crypto.
Yeah.
I think it pumped very hard
It was
at the
wild. It
beginning.
was wild. So like right now, like I think there is a value to you guys, like kind of like if you have the time and the passion for it, like look around, look for newer coins that that nobody's talking about, that you think that there is something similar that's severely overvalued in comparison to that. That's a good place to start. Or you look at new token listings. You can even look at older ones that are in accumulation patterns, kind of like See a Coin or Stratus or something, and then kind of do some research and see, are they still making progress? Do they have any sort of events planned? Are people talking about it? You want to find the stuff that people aren't talking about, but have some sort of light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
And when that breaks out, when that event
OMG
happens,
is a good example for that.
yeah,
Like if you sniffed out that they actually, were close to plasma release.
yeah, Omise
That,
Go, right?
yeah.
Yeah, nobody was talking about that thing. We all thought it was dead, but I'm sure there were people within that community that knew something was happening.
Yeah.
Right? So that's my advice. But yeah, BMX, I lost 0.3 in 2 years. I got 0.1 back. I'm on my way up since half a year, but so slow. All right, little at a time. Like I said, I mean, we say this all the time. I'll leave you. I think I gotta go actually, but I had a lot of fun. But I'll leave you guys with this, especially the new people.
Feelings on deck now. I'm always feeling slightly optimistic about that.
Yeah, Stillman knows. So I got into crypto here, like right here. I think no here. I think I literally bought the top of this candle. That was my introduction to crypto. Like you don't buy Bitcoin unless you buy the top. Like the first time you buy Bitcoin, you buy the top always. So this is where I bought, but I remember buying thinking like, damn, I wish I got in at $10, But the reality was we were in a bull trend at this point, and which ended, but it's only 7 months. In 7 months, you went from 1,800 to 20K, and the market cap did like an 8x, and a lot of these altcoins did like 100x. Like quite literally, I started with $5,000 and in May, and I got another $5,000 loan from my grandfather because I felt so confident. I was like, let me borrow some money. I paid him back within a month or two. Like I think it was I paid him back in a month, but I did like over 200x on my portfolio in like 7 months. Over that. So you don't need to be in at the bottom as long as you're in at the right time. You can make a lot of money very, very quickly. So
here something that I wanted to bring up earlier that fits this pretty well. I'm sending you a chart right now, BTC chart. That's something that we discussed in one of our dojo calls, I think like 3 weeks ago. 3 to 4 weeks ago. Can you bring that one up? And tell me when it's up so I can.
Which one? What am I pulling up?
In your DMs, I sent you a BTC chart with indicators on it.
Let's see. Which one? BTC USD, the weekly?
Yeah.
Okay. Pulling it up now.
So that's the one with the MACD and the RSI on it and the stochastic, right?
Yep. With
yeah.
the bull
So
cross.
yeah, something like in terms of not don't have to be early. If this resembles the last market cycle to some extent, then the RSI, once it's really entering the bull market, it just never goes down again below that 50, that around middle mark on the RSI weekly chart. I marked that with that bright green box on the left, and Currently, we are trying to poke our head above that EQ, that midline on the RSI again, and it actually retested it from above and bounced, which did happen on the last attempt. Actually, on none of the attempts, we did like a bearish retest on the China pump in October 2019, but we didn't do a retest yet. Now we retested it, and there are a couple of circumstances that are pretty similar now. We had a weekly bull cross on the MACD back then. That's like end of 2015, where I think you could say that that's like around the beginning of the bull market, early phases. And then you had the stochastic do this motion and cross bullish, which we have now again. And now if you look at where we are right now and where that is on the chart back in 2015, I mean, you can't even make out the candles properly. Like, if it's the case and you have confirmation at some point, then there's so much time and so much money to be made. As you pointed out, like even entering at the basically tail end, the blow off top phase of the bull market, or slightly before that in 2017, was enough to make crazy amounts of money. So that's something I always try to remind myself of. Move slowly, move steadily. Don't blow yourself up before that happens, basically, if you're already in the market.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the past months did that to a lot of people. People got chopped up, people play margin, they play futures, and they get greedy, and suddenly the bull market comes and they're not around anymore. At least not their money.
Yep.
So it's
that's what that price action does, like basically what it's doing right now. And Bitcoin, because we all kind of, I mean, if you're playing in the market, a lot of us still, myself included, I do believe in what's behind it. And, I want to see it do well. It would be so awesome. But, when you think about it, if you're like playing with leverage and you're longing like 9K, 9,500, 10K, like where's your target? You should know, if you're playing on that, you should know that 10.5 is a big resistance. So it's like you're really looking at like $500 or $1,000 of upside, which is only about 10% or less or more, but like 10-15%. Like that's kind of your area. And then okay, it breaks through. Like where's it go? 12K, 14K. Like that would be sick. It would be really good. It's a great trade if it happens, but it's big resistance, and if it gets through, like you should, if you know what you're doing, have a chance to get in and participate in the run that comes after. But there's other coins that are just doing 20% in a day very casually, and the charts look kind of clean, and there's no real secret to what they're doing. It's not surprising when you see it from like a technical perspective, like Wan Chain the other day. It was like, yeah, like this is pretty clear. There's been plenty of them. But it's the same percentage. So like you don't have to do it all on BTC. There's stocks, there's altcoins, there's commodities, there's a lot of different things.
Yeah. Shout out to Xavi and D-King for their recent stocks plays. Like they,
these guys
while
are
I
crushing.
was having my measly 60% gains on altcoins, they did like I think 450 to 250% plays in options in a day. And I
Those
was like,
guys are
okay.
ripping.
Yeah,
Johnny Boy asked,
they
do
kind of
you share gems in the
declared
dojo?
me.
So like we don't. It's not like that. I mean, at one point it was, but there's like multiple channels where people are just like, it's a lot of trading discussion. There are signals being given out, but it's not like here's the trade, guys, everybody buy this. Like, and plus the group is quite small. It's like a very intimate kind of like very friendly community of like maybe like 30-40 people, like tops. It's very small. We're very active, and we kind of just talk it out. Some guys in the group, they stick around, they're doing well. They'll come up with their own trade ideas, and we kind of discuss it together. But as far as like if somebody finds some shitcoin that looks good, like they'll talk about it, I'll talk about it, but it doesn't mean like everybody's like waiting for that moment. Everybody kind of like just doing their thing, trading everything. G says, do you have any positions, alt USD and futures, or you don't really recommend it? Um, I think it is a good tool to use. We do trade with that. Like people use Binance, we use Mex, Bybit, other exchanges, people, whatever you like. One thing about like trading with leverage with altcoins that you have to realize is that the liquidity is very, very limited. Like even the liquidity on BTC is way more limited than you would imagine. It's not what you think it is. Like there are times where you feel like you're like literally trading against Arthur by yourself. It's because you are. It's not as liquid as you think. There's a lot of fake trading, fake volume. There were reports saying the volume was like 90% fake. I don't know if it's that high, but it's pretty fake. So,
Yeah.
you know, you go to trade altcoins, it's even more so. So, you know, that's why you get those crazy wicks, and they literally know where your stops are. The regulations are kind of murky, to say the least. And this is still the Wild West, especially if you're trading altcoins with leverage. So, you kind of want to be like, you either want to catch a wick in a key spot, or like if you're trading in the middle of some sort of structure that looks like, you either want to scalp, protect your positions. If you're trying to make a swing trade, you want to be as close to support as possible and give it some room, which would mean that you either have to make a smaller position or use lower leverage. Yeah.
Yeah, and something
I
something
spoke to
that
PyCon during maybe around like in March. He's still around. He's still around. I miss PyCon. I gotta talk to him. I'm gonna send him a DM. He's still around though. What were you saying,
yeah.
Stillman? Sorry.
Yeah, regarding the altcoin futures, you also need to keep in mind that when you're playing altcoins, you basically already have an implied leverage because they are more volatile. So I still play them with high leverage occasionally, like with 20x. But you need to factor that in with your risk management, definitely. That you are already playing something that's more volatile, so usually you need less leverage.
Hmm. Yeah, as long as you're structuring your risk properly, like you can trade 20x on alts, it's fine. Like you
Yeah,
just
it
need to know
works.
what you're doing and
Yeah.
protect yourself. That's it. I wouldn't say against it. Yeah, the dojo is paid. Yeah, yeah, that's paid. So to join, if you're interested in that, you could DM me if you have some questions or whatever. DM me on Twitter. Be happy to talk to you
Yeah.
about it. I'm not really looking for people that want, signal sir or target sir, although we do kind of offer that. But the people that thrive, like at the end of the day, I don't want anyone joining and be like, oh, they didn't tell me exactly what to do every day, and I messed up. It's like I'm more looking for people that want to learn how to be, how to be able to fish on their own, how to do a little bit better, how to make some money. Obviously, at the same time, we're going to give you guidance. It's not like we're not, doing that. But the people that are active are the ones who thrive in an environment like that, and it's good for everybody. So, if you're interested, check out the website. We have our blog at kjcryptodojo.com.
Yeah, I
kjcryptodojo.com.
posted
The
in
link
the
is there.
chat.
What?
I posted it in the chat,
Yeah, yeah. So,
the
so
URL.
there, yeah, we wrote some what's it called?
Articles,
Yeah,
blog
yeah,
posts.
yeah. Blog posts about Uniswap, all these things. Um, so if you want to check that out, you can check it out. And yeah, pretty much it. I mean, I want to thank Stillman for coming on. Obviously, it's always a pleasure.
Thank you for
We
inviting
do
me.
these talks without recording them because it's fun. So, yeah,
Yeah.
good times. Anything
And
else?
thank you guys for all the comments and the interaction. It
Yeah, I
was
hope you
fun.
guys enjoyed it. Smash up the likes. That's a thing again. Smash him up, guys. Smash him up.
Super.
Yeah. All right. So everybody, take care. I had a fun again, and now it's enough. It's enough streaming for me today.
Yeah, for me too.
I'm exhausted. Time to go take care of the kids. Take care, everybody.